Alright, connected. Gonna grab myself a drink and then I'll be back. Oof. Whoa, focus. I do not need autofocus. There we go. So, hello Internet. I am Mark, or Amsrai, or whatever you know me as. Mondo Green, something. And I am holding court on the throne of games. I've been playing Dishonored on here. Yesterday I completed the Knife of Dunwall, which is the first story DLC, where you play as Dowd, the legendary assassin, well, infamous assassin. Let's see. In yesterday's session, we found out who Delilah was. She's one of the Brigmore witches. And then our right-hand assassin, Billy Lurk, she colluded with Delilah to betray us. She seems to interpret it as a whole, like, a Sith Lord and apprentice kind of relationship that they had, so, she was like, I didn't mean anything by it, I just thought it was my time, but no. But we spared her, sent her off to the far reaches, sent her running to the far reaches of the Empire. And now, today, we continue pursuing the witches. So, let us proceed with that. Forgot to do a thing here. There we go. Wait a second. Y'all are probably hearing things, but I'm not. And that means I'm probably going to have to relaunch the game here. Oh wait, y'all aren't seeing things either, though, because I forgot to capture that window. Oops. Okay. Frequently when I'm switching from speakers to headphones, it kind of derps on the handover, and things that are already running don't quite get the message, and so their audio is lost to the ether. Let's see if that's going to be the case here. Nope, I can hear just fine. I am going for primarily stealth, trying to kill as few people as possible, but You know, every once in a while I make an exception. Yeah, I'll keep it at veteran. I'm not that great at this sort of game.
He knew. The black-eyed bastard knew that when my blade stilled the Empress's heart and delivered her daughter to the Lord Regent's men, everything would fall to pieces. He watched me do it anyway. And now the world's gone mad. Plague grinds the city down. Corruption rots. A mad killer roams the streets by night, seeking revenge. The overseers have stormed my hideout in the flooded district. And I'm in a strange duel with a mad witch named Delilah for the fate of the Empire. I'd say I was being punished, but I know that the world doesn't punish wicked people. We make our choices and take what comes. And the rest is void. I can't say I wasn't warned. The men are recovering well from the attack, but they don't understand the danger they're in. My mother warned me never to make an enemy of a witch. Corvo, here to settle our debt. You understand, I won't make this easy for you.
Whoa.
What is it?
Thomas has returned with the information you requested. He's waiting for you below.
They say my mother was a witch, but the truth, as is so often the case, depends on perspective and your place in the world. She relied on poisons made from exotic herbs and the blowfish that live in the reef waters near Pandysia. Fugu fish. Her power originated in hallucinogens delivered through guile or by force to those who crossed her. There was an unusual intensity in her gaze for certain, but it came from within, not from the outsider. It's what happens to anyone pushed to the absolute edge of sanity and survival, who stays there for years, then returns to walk among the sheep in so-called civilized society. My mother was crafty, but if it was anything more than powders, hidden knives, and guile, I never saw it. Like they tell children, some of those truly touched by the black-eyed bastard can move through the space between rooftops like a sparrow. Others command armies of rats or poisonous flies as easy as they wriggle their fingers and toes. The overseers are right to fear us, to warn the common folk to stay near their homes at night and keep their families close. I never actually played Wasteland 2, KPO. But, I mean, voice actors do get around, so that wouldn't surprise me. But there are other ways his influence manifests itself. Those who serve me share in some of what I can do, and I suspect it's the same for Delilah Copperspoon's coven. Then there are those who can craft runes and charms. The old woman across town, they call her Granny Rags. She carves and polishes the bones of whales, stringing them together and opening them to the void until they moan like the fever-sick on a cold night. I found a few of her talismans, and with each one I touched, a tiny piece of me departed and settled in with her. What does she gain? A longer life? Some other kind of power I don't understand? The making of such things is beyond me. I've known 4 people in my time who carried the mark of the outsider, but I've known dozens more who wanted it, who stood at night in stagnant ponds or begged with the dust blowing through graveyards. People who gutted farm animals or burned the flesh of men thinking it would call forth the void. I met a dying man once who had collected runes and charms for years. He crushed them all into powder, made a paste, and ate them, thinking he could gain whatever magic was in the things. His death was long and painful. I also knew a woman from Karnaka who would trade for charms and other bits of whalebone. She cracked them apart and fused them back together, then sold them. I bought one of these corrupted charms that she swore would cause sharp metal to break on my skin, and it worked. But each time it did, one of my teeth turned black and fell out. After the 3rd time, I gave it to one of my men. Now when he smiles, it's all bleeding gums, and I wonder what parts inside him are turning black. Sometimes I ask myself, without these gifts, would I be a man to fear? Would I be called the Knife of Dunwall, with my name whispered through the markets and the alleyways, the high towers and drawing rooms? I'd like to think so, but it really doesn't matter. As long as I bear this mark, I'll use whatever craft I have to force my will on the world. The harder trick is undoing what I've done. Dunwall, the seat of power in the known civilized world, the Empire of the Isles. It is our great capital, and it has been brought low by vermin. The very thought galls. We are faced with the reality that our once great city is in a state of shambles, and the few remaining domiciles in any habitable condition are the estates of those wealthy enough to ward themselves against that reality. A city cannot continue to thrive, populated by only the upper classes and their cloistered sycophants. Even if the plague were gone tomorrow, in its present state, Dunwall doesn't have enough hardy people of working age to return the city to everyday function. We must find a way to attract more residents, which requires removing the cloud of fear brought about by the current regime. The Lord Regent and his lackeys are bad for business, my friends. So it falls on us. A plague and a tyrant must be overcome. And after that we must undertake a 3rd miracle, turning the screws on the obscenely wealthy, forcing them to pay back into the place that has given them their privileged lives. It is the powerful and fortunate who must pay for the rebuilding of Dunwall, even if the poorest will bear the stones and timbers of reconstruction on their backs. All this must happen for the dormant machine of commerce to restart. Without that, we are all forfeit, and the greatest city of our age will be lost. Well, KPO, I've interpreted a lot of it as just being... I know a lot of it seems to be very, like, there's some very obvious real-world parallels. Like, I'm forgetting that, Serkonos is probably Greece. It sounds a lot like Greece. And Pandysia is probably China. I forget exactly what else there is, but yeah, those two at least seemed very obvious parallels to me. As far as the rest of the world, I don't know. Oh, good. Potterstead Gristol, a small town, but the locals are charming and the ale is unmatched. Be certain to visit during the month of winds for their pennant festival. Dunwall Gristol, notes on the capital city could fill a dozen such volumes. All delights exist in Dunwall if you've got the coin, and all miseries if you're broke. Unless you're well connected through someone in Dunwall Tower, one of the key families, the City Watch or River Patrol, make sure your permits are in order. Otherwise you're likely to have your cargo seized by the port authorities for any reason they care to concoct. Kilkenny Morley. Oh, okay, then Morley is definitely Ireland. While the harbor master here is particular about the kinds of goods you're carrying, the rest of the town is more lax. Be sure to visit the inn on the rock for the best mutton stew in all the isles. Yarrow Tivia. The cold here will snatch the breath from your lungs, but it is met in equal strength by the civility of its well-mannered citizens. The cozy taverns are kept warm by their famously crafted iron stoves, though the northern food takes some adjustment. Bejeweled aristocrats laugh and drink side by side with weathered, leathery-skinned farmers, clapping one another on the back until the dim hours. It is hard to make a friend here, or to truly understand the worldview of the native-born, but once you do, you'll have a friend for life. Okay, so Tivia is something, Scandinavian. Colero Serkonos. This city is crowded in the warmer months, and for a good reason. You'll find yourself shoulder to shoulder with scantily clad locals and foreigners on holiday, pale skin burned pink by the sun, which somehow seems larger and brighter in Serkonos. The flood in Colero... I keep on misreading food as flood. What the heck? The food in Colero is a shining example of Serkonan cuisine, and there is always music, always dancing. Hand-rolled on the steps of tobacco shops, the cigars are, of course, fresher than the ones you've had shipped to other parts of the Empire. Yeah, something like that, KPO. Karnaka Serkonos, the jewel of the south at the edge of the world. The city is bustling with industry after a wave of settlers from Morley and an influx of wealthy trading companies from Dunwall. Everywhere you go in Karnaka, there are new ideas, hybrid forms of music, groundbreaking theories of natural philosophy, and even extravagant delicacies made by mixing ingredients from all the known cultures. The locals work tirelessly for their coin, welcoming the elite from across the Isles. Corrupted bone charms are powerful bone charms that come with a cost. Locate them, like normal bone charms, by listening for the song they emit with the Void Gaze power. Equip them in the Bone Charms tab of the journal. Okay, what does that bone charm do? Power Slash. Nah. There we go. Those are the abilities I want. Ooh, right there. Okay. Tomas. A few other things.
Begging your pardon, Dowd, but I don't think it's safe to leave these overseers holed up in the refinery.
It's a new game now. They know where to find us. We just have to make them afraid to.
Metaphysica Mysterium. It is said that we should not sully our hands when combating the forces of the void. My studies have been deemed heretical by my brothers, but the rewards have been invaluable. I have harnessed the same energies employed by the outsider and his accursed followers while avoiding their corruption. Oh, yeah, I remember this one from the main game. Yeah. We can avoid being tainted by using the flesh of others instead. Yeah. I'm not sure that's much better, really. Or at all. Our troubles began with a name, Delilah, a mystery given to Dowd by the face he sees in his dreams and whose voice he hears when kneeling at the shrines hidden in the lost parts of the city. None of us have ever heard this voice, but we know its power. It spoke to our master, telling him of his coming doom and saying that solving this riddle was the only way to escape. We knew nothing of Delilah, except that we found a whaling ship by that name, a tenuous connection, but where the outsider's word is concerned, there are no coincidences. We discovered the ship was named after a woman who once walked the halls of Dunwall Tower with Jessamine Caldwin. Later she became a painter, an apprentice of Sokolov himself, until she snared an aristocratic patron named Arnold Timsh. We met with Timsh's niece, who offered us information on Delilah in exchange for eliminating her uncle. Removing aristocrats was our specialty, so our master agreed. With Barrister Arnold Timsh gone, his niece divulged everything she knew. Delilah was much more than a painter, and she was hiding in the old Brigmore manor outside the city. But by then we were too late. Delilah anticipated our threat. For some time she had been working her corruptive influence on the best of us, the assassin Billy Lurk. Delilah turned Lurk against us, and together they sold us out to the overseers. When we returned to our hideout in the flooded district, we were swarmed by gold masks and hounds. But Dowd is quick and wise in our trade. In the end, he kept us alive, though there were losses. Now, our resources are strained. Some of the men are grumbling. I see the strain on Dowd's face. Killing the Empress, handing over her daughter, those are not easy burdens to bear, and Lurk's betrayal weighs on him heavily. His sleep is troubled by curses and shouts. Now we make preparations to strike back at Delilah. She is planning something in Brigmore, something that affects everyone in the Isles, and she will be expecting us. Like our master, she shares her gifts from the outsider with those who follow her. How many are they, I wonder? I have no secrets from my master. My loyalty is without question, but I fear these may be the last days of the Whalers. Perhaps the last days of Dowd. Dune. Already grabbed a sword, but okay. I have 5 runes. Let's, sure, let's go ahead and vitalify. That'll make all my lackeys better fits for their tasks. Serkonos, the Jewel of the South is, that is... Oh, no, it's not quite the same thing. Serkonos, the Jewel of the South, is best known for its warm winds, spiced foods, and endless beaches. While the city of Kulero sees the heaviest flow of travelers from across the Isles, Karnaca, on the southernmost edge of the known world, is preferred among the elite of the Empire. It is said that a month spent resting beneath the sun on the beaches of Serkonos or within one of the rural villages can cure most maladies. Travelers bring back recipes and styles from the south, and the dances that all Serkonans learn in their youth are favored in Bristol for their sensuality, copied by the fashionable aristocracy in the capital city of Dunwall. The only persistent trouble in Serkonos originates along the string of tiny islands stretching away from the mainland to the east. For generations, pirates have hidden among this archipelago, raiding traders passing between the isles, and more recently, attacking whaling ships returning with rich stores of oil. Yeah, I remember that one. Doop-a-doop. Okay.
Thomas finished his scouting run. When you've talked to him,
Oh, that's Thomas.
I'll give you the latest word from inside the prison.
You're Thomas.
I found Lizzie Stride. Getting her to lend us her boat will be a bit complicated, however. She's in Coldridge. From what I hear, they've got enough on her to hold her for about 1,000 years.
Coldridge. We can use this. We'll get her out. And Stride will have to pay back the favor. We'll have our transport.
Ready to leave, sir? Or should I wait? At your pleasure.
I'm gonna look around a bit more. There's probably stuff like that. And these.
Corvo's out there, Dowd. It's a matter of time before he shows up here.
He's got the Lord Regent's army to chew through first.
Taking prisoners is exactly the sort of thing I'm talking about. Ever vigilant, I see. Are we leaving soon to Brigmore?
Interesting times, gentlemen. Overseers in the flooded district. Witches abroad in the city. Traitors in the ranks. I'd be nervous too. Then I'd remember who killed the Empress in Dunwall Tower and came out untouched.
Gentle reader, be assured that your coin is well spent today. What you read here may one day preserve your life and your sanity. No one has seen the knife of Dunwall and lived to tell of it, until now. The sun was setting, a bloody stain against the sky, silhouetting the noble contours of Rothwild's slaughterhouse. The stench of blood, the flesh of men and whales, soured the air. Dowd slithered from the sewers, his body slick with gore and crawling with vermin that no mortal man could have tolerated. His shadow stretched out before him on the ground, and it revealed his true nature. A horned thing, warped by heresy. A shape too terrible to put into words, my gentle readers. A sorcerer from the void, without question. I could hear the moans of the dying workers he left in his wake, but he did not even pause to acknowledge their plight, for his heart is colder than Tivian ice. The moans of dying workers? I think you mean the snores of unconscious workers, because I only killed, 3 guys there. Instead, he let out a guttural howl of victory, the shock of which snuffed out the life of those poor dying workers. And then he bounded away, moving from roof to roof back toward the streets. And this was where I thought this chapter would end until I heard the music. Grinding metal music of the Overseers echoed from the nearby alleyways, and I knew there would soon be a fight. With only my sense of duty to the fallen citizens of Dunwall to keep my fear from overtaking me, I inched closer to the mouth of the alley for a better vantage. A brave contingent of Overseers had captured one of Dowd's lieutenants lurking in the alley. He or she, for I could not tell beneath the thick leather of the industrial whaler suit, was prone and tied with sturdy ropes, surrounded by Overseers. But their fixation was ultimately their undoing. Dowd fell from above, moving through the air as easily as a falcon. I swear it upon my spirit. Without sound, he glided down among them, and the music maker was the first to die, as Dowd tore the man's head from his shoulders. The wretched song faded in a discordant wail. Then I watched as the most notorious assassin of our time became a flurry of leather, metal, and blood, deflecting bullets and sword blades with ease. The last Overseer, no doubt consumed with terror at seeing his brothers fall so easily, sank to his knees and begged for mercy. Dowd spoke a single word that made my entrails squirm in my belly upon hearing it. The overseer shrieked like a madman until his mask split in two, as though struck by some hammer and chisel, and a stream of blood gushed forth from the crack, bathing Dowd's boots. I closed my eyes at that point, too overwhelmed to witness any further atrocity. I could only hope that if that foul heretic discovered me next, my life would end swiftly. But when I opened my eyes, Dowd was nowhere to be seen. That was the last I ever saw of the Knife of Dunwall. So heed my warning, gentle reader. Should you or anyone you love witness some misshapen shadow fall across your path, or should you hear the slightest rumor of dark words whispered from the rooftops, then flee. Flee with all haste. Oh, cool. Thanks for that bit of trivia, KPO.
This will hold while we're away. Anything short of cannon fire.
Let's hope it won't come to that.
Yeah, I remember that one.
They say he let Rothwild live. Is Dowd getting soft?
Rothwild's not coming back anytime soon. You should spend more time thinking about your form. I've made a mess of the access ways, but it had to be done. If I come back, I'll take it all down.
We'll be back. And then you can burn those overseer drapes while you're at it.
Yeah. I don't know, they look pretty nice. I mean, you could like embroider over those symbols, put something else in their place. Assassins are good at embroidery, right?
Is it time to go, sir?
Oh boy, I didn't kill any of the friendly guys.
Delilah doesn't leave Brigmore Manor anymore. She doesn't have to. Which means I have to come to her. The manor's upriver, far out past the quarantine line. I'll need a ship. I've lived in Dunwall's underworld a long time. I know the players. Gang leaders, madams, corrupt officials. But what I need is a smuggler who knows the river. Someone I can trust. It's a reflection of Dunwall. Or perhaps myself. That after all these years, the best choice I have is Lizzie Stride. And Lizzie Stride is in jail.
Yep. Okay. Nah, I can get myself inside. That, though, definitely. Nah. I got this. Sure. Let's do that. No, I think I'll save the rest of my money for now.
Dowd, Lizzie Stride is in there, but we don't know where they're holding her. They're playing Overseer music from the loudspeakers. We couldn't get in.
Why the music?
One of their prisoners. A spy caught at Dunwall Tower. The guards have sent for overseers to investigate.
I'll be back with Lizzie Stride. Stay hidden.
If I could blink, this would be easy right here. Easy pickings. That is not where I want to be. Ellie wasn't supposed to tumble that far, but whatever. Is he the only guy there? Looks like it. Okay, it's going to be hard to get behind him, so, no, I don't think I can get behind him either, so...
Oh, stupid gun.
Beep. Yeah, I'll drop him over here, because I don't want to accidentally drop him off the side there. Remember that an overseer has been summoned to address the situation in the interrogation room. Until the overseer arrives, no one is to enter the interrogation room. The prisoner cells are off limits to overseers and other visitors, no exceptions.
I heard you there.
Ah, heck. Maybe it's okay.
Nobody's making rounds over here? Better make a pass over here. Nobody's making rounds over here?
There he is.
Better make a pass over here. Nobody's making rounds over here?
I remember that one. Hey, rewire too. Can I do anything about this loudspeaker? Nope. That looks safe. All right then. Well, you can't blame that on me. I haven't been this way yet.
Morris lost his nerve at the sewer gates. Neither of them knew anything. They died to satisfy the Lord Regent's office.
And Officer Thorpe?
Thorpe slipped him the key. Everyone knows that. He got weak. They paid him off, but he couldn't tell us who it was. And believe me, he wanted to by the end.
You've seen Corvo train, haven't you? Once he had the key, there was no stopping him. And the way he went off that bridge, how do you stop a man who'll make a jump like that? Like he doesn't care.
Or like he's more than human.
You think he's
I think we played that overseer noise for a reason. I think there's more happening here than any of us know.
All prison personnel will stay clear of the interrogation room until the representative from the Abbey has certified it is free of any heretical corruption.
I'm not saying it would be easy, but I could do it, once the cell door's open.
You? How?
In the first rush, I'd take 2, 3, before they get their swords out, pick up their pistols. I'm a good shot.
How good?
I'm better than most of the people here. It's a fact. If I keep moving, I can take the rest one-on-one. It'll be bloody, but it's doable.
You're not thinking. If a fight even starts, you'd be finished. When that alarm goes, your odds are just about 0. Me? I just keep quiet. Slip by when no one's looking. Take as long as it takes.
Either way, you'd have to be lucky. And a complete madman.
You'd have to be Corvo, in other words.
All cells in Section B are under quarantine until further notice. Prisoners who have been transferred from Section B will be observed for signs of infection.
Crap. That was inconvenient. Okay, let's try that again.
pistols, I'm a good shot. Better than most of the people. It's a fact. If I keep moving, you can take the rest one by one. It'll be bloody, but it's doable.
If a fight even starts, you'd be finished. When that alarm goes, your odds are just about zero. Me, I just keep quiet. Slip by when no one's looking. Take as long as it takes.
Either way, you'd have to be lucky. And a complete madman. You'd have to be Corvo, in other words. Sound she made. It was like, don't. Not until the Overseer finishes. I want to think about it.
Whoa! I did not expect that thing to go through the window there. Okay, well...
Stop messing around and come out at once. All right, nothing here as it turns out. It's just ridiculous. Stupid rats. Plague. Elixir. Bunch of crap.
Shoot. Seems that I missed something. Did miss something. Light as a shadow. What does that one do? Section B will remain closed until the conclusion of the investigation into the escape of Corvo Attano. Prisoners have been moved into the cells on the other side of the prison. I need another drink. I'll be right back.
Just give me the one chance. I'll never ask anything again.
All logbook entries must contain the prisoner name and the destination cell number. The logbook is in the guard booth between sections C and D. Do not neglect to log every prisoner transfer. Failure to do so is a punishable offense.
Just give me the one chance. I'll never ask anything again.
There's probably a switch
It's going
somewhere.
to start any moment, and I'll die weeping blood.
825. Let's see if I can do that. This is how they travel from floor to floor.
What are you looking at? Don't make me take that away from you. You should get where you're going, little man. Are you supposed to be scary?
You're talking to Dowd.
Just give me the one chance. I'll never ask anything again.
Where's Harold? He's not in his cell.
Check the log. We've been moving people around to make room for the politicals.
This never happened under the Empress.
Someone will hear you. And it wasn't easy with the Empress around. She'd hold inspections with the Royal Protector trailing after her.
I wish we'd taken care of her. He knows our faces. He could come back any time.
Well, I didn't expect it to work, but...
Someone's supposed to be on duty over here.
I can't get behind you if you stand like that.
Why is no one making rounds over here?
And he left the room. Excellent. Make it easy to take care of you.
Someone's supposed to be on duty over here.
Winston Fogarty, Elizabeth Stride, D24, Lucas Penroe, Jane Cochran.
I didn't know she had it. Why'd she take my money?
Who's there? Are you a guard? You're not, are you? Listen, I'm a powerful man. All you have to do is trip the mechanism to open this cell. Anything you want will be yours. There's been a terrible mistake, and once it's been corrected, I'll control half the city. Please pay attention. Who are you? A kitchen worker? A groundskeeper? This is the chance of your miserable lifetime.
A04. Open everything
I'm
but
not
that.
doing it. Not me. Not like the rest of them.
Or possibly just, render him unconscious prior to opening everything so he misses his chance. Doesn't look very busy. me a moment. I have to go record my life. Um,
When I get out of here, I'm gonna tear you apart. You hear me?
Yeah, whatever.
I'm coming for you. If it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna kill you.
Sure you are. Enjoy your dark cell in the meantime.
Bastard.
Oop,
Guards,
that didn't work. Lieutenant Wright. The hatter we brought in was trying to stash this loot in the canal when we busted him. Looks like he's the one who hit Lord Bryman's carriage a few nights back. So far he has not named his accomplices, but he will once he gets his turn in the interrogation room. Document everything and then deliver it to the Lord Regent's office, and make sure none of it gets lost along the way, or it's both our heads. Ashfield. Prisoner 354A 9123. Goal: location of collaborator in theft of goods. Method: heated metal bolts applied to feet. Outcome: promising response at first, but the subject lost consciousness due to shock. Prisoner 657C 7619. Goal: confession to vandalism. Method: sleep deprivation. Outcome: disorientation. Subject falsely confessed to crime as well as other unrelated acts. Prisoner 874A 1713. Goal: location of a weapon cache tied to attacks on river patrol checkpoints. Method: water tank. Outcome: tank mechanism malfunction. Subject drowned. Prisoner 4112B 7835. Goal: name of conspiracy organizer. Method: engagement with phobia, spiders. Outcome: subject divulged the information before the hatch to the spider basket was even opened. Spider basket. Dear Officer Ashfield, I would like to most humbly request access to documents concerning the new experimental choke dust, which you may have recently found yourself in possession of. I understand this is a delicate subject matter, and I assure you every precaution will be taken with the documents to ensure they remain confidential. If access to these documents is agreeable to you, please have one of your men deliver them to my cell. Respectfully, your friend in A25.
Is she strapped in right? Good. Doesn't look like much, does she? Comfortable? All right, we'll get this done. Let's start with how you got into Dunwall Tower in the first place. Was it one of the servants that let you in? One of the guards? Nothing? All right. Corporal, use the hammer. That's right. The smaller one. Can't really tell if she felt that. Don't want to break anything. Let's try again. How did you... Wait. You hear a kind of ringing in your ears? What's happening to her face? Is she going to... Oh no! Oh no! Shoot her! Shoot her! Shoot!
Weird. Following the escape of Corvo Attano, the council appointed by the Lord Regent has decided it is of the utmost importance to increase security measures at Coleridge Prison. The recommendations made by this report include structural measures such as increasing the heights of walls, sealing ventilation shafts, and ensuring sewer entrances are inaccessible. Additionally, staffing at the site must be increased to thoroughly cover all exits and maintain observation of all major corridors. Special addendum. In addition to the new measures outlined herein, the Council has consulted with the Abbey of Abbey of the Everyman, and the royal physician Anton Sokolov, who was also head of the Academy of Natural Philosophy, asking for guidance and equipment in the handling of those cases which are more exotic in nature. While we have dismissed reports of the supernatural in the past as old wives' tales and lunatic hearsay, recent months have convinced us that there are matters afoot that we do not fully understand. As such, prison executive personnel are encouraged to welcome the presence of both the overseers and anyone working under Sokolov's technical guidance.
This controls all the cell doors.
Set first tumbler to match cell section letter, set second and third tumblers to cell number, pull lever to confirm selection. Ensure that each cell opening request and selection are verbally confirmed. Investigate and report any suspected malfunctions immediately. Remember to take extra care in logging transfers. Even temporary transfers of prisoners from one cell to another must be recorded in the logbook. Ensure that the logbook is available in the guard booth between sections C and D at all times. Okay, so I can do it individually. So, I'm going to make note. Hey, Mom, could you grab me a pen and a pad of paper? Doesn't need to be a big pad of paper, just something I can take a couple notes on.
Something to say. I don't have any business with you.
Thank you. Yeah. Make up your mind, dude. He was like, hey, you, come closer. I've got something to say. So I talk with him and he says, I don't have any business with you. Okay, so D24. Lizzie. That one's just open.
Just give me the one chance. I'll never ask anything again. Trembling hands. Blood from the eyes. Any day now to start. I didn't know she had it. Why'd she take my money?
Too many bumps on the letter M. I can write, really I can. Nothing of interest over here. Okay, now. Ground floor. gonna let you out,
It's
though.
gonna start any moment. And I'll die in blood.
You ass dick. Okay. Actually, I'll come back for that one in a minute because I'm not sure, but what opening that cell will just trigger cutscene. Excuse me. That's just the yard. I don't want to go out into the yard. Anything on this floor? Never mind. Rats.
Better be worth it.
Witch's skin. When taking damage, your mana is drained before your health, but your mana does not regenerate. Ugh, no thanks.
Just give me the one chance. I'll never ask anything again. It's just a matter of time, buddy.
Oh, I'll find you.
What?
Where'd you run off to? too. Someone's trying to make shit. I know you. Where are you? Someone's about to get shanked. Where'd you run him?
Lost him. Baffle dust.
Oh,
The most striking characteristic one will notice when comparing incarceration facilities across the Isles is the outer walls themselves, or in some cases the lack thereof. A well-known and well-feared prison such as Coldridge, with its long history as the principal prison for the capital city of Dunwall, has a number of physical barriers to keep prisoners from escaping or even attempting escape. Coldridge is housed in a single formidable structure many stories tall, with tightly guarded gates and tiny individual what that keep the prisoners separate, minimizing collusion. The prisoner in tiny individual cells, I guess, is the word they forgot there. The prison is dominated by its high gray walls, and as of late, the new technologies have been tested for deployment there, further adding to security. The height of modern incarceration, it's virtually unthinkable that one could escape from such a place. Contrast this with the prisons of Tivia, located in the tundra at the center of that nation-state. At some of the labor camps in Tivia, there are literally no walls. A prisoner exhausted from hard labor and without tools is likely to survive the harsh climate or the hungry packs of hounds that rove the frozen wastes. In fact, Tivian prison authorities make it known that any prisoner is free to leave at any time. In all of recorded history, no one has made the remote walk across the snow and ice to the nearest city. Interestingly, those who leave are not pursued. They are considered free people, having effectively served their sentences. Later installments in this series will cover the mines of Serkonos, where prisoners must work in order to survive, and the coastal island jails of Morley, surrounded by bitterly cold waters that are filled with ravenous hagfish. Once again, I have been asked to solve the problems of the dismal past, and once again I have delivered the solutions required by our present situation. As with all my work, it is simply that a mind capable of understanding their potential is required. For the benefit of the Lord Regent, and to the detriment of those incarcerated in Coldridge Prison with an aptitude for escape, I have recently adapted one of my inventions for deployment in that dank and depressing place. The potential function of these devices at the prison should now be clear to all following the latest round of testing. With the associated power complications resolved, I have therefore recommended a two-stage implementation starting at once. The first stage involves a recent device, simple to deploy, designed to stun the escaping prisoner. The second is a more powerful deterrent, the lethal and increasingly popular arc pylon. In combination, properly applied, these devices will make Coldridge Prison inescapable. About to go somewhere?
you're here.
Oh, okay. I've managed to get my hands on an experimental formula being tested right here in Coldridge Prison, a mixture the prison guards call choke dust, which is normally capable of rendering prisoners vulnerable for a few moments. However, this new formula has the potential to make the victim forgetful as well. It's as if, once breathed in, the dust causes an acute, temporary stupor.
Oh, I'll find you. I give up my eyes.
It's going to start any moment. I'll die in blood.
Yeah, someone's still around.
Okay. I don't guess so. Yeah.
Wake up, Lizzie.
I'm not telling you shit. Wait.
Down.
Is that right? Whoever sent you, I'll pay double.
I've come to break you out. You can owe me the favor.
What kind of favor?
Doesn't matter. You'll be dead in another day here.
What kind?
It's just a boat trip. Upriver. Past the blockades.
Then you're out of luck. My boat, the Undine, now belongs to someone else. My second-in-command double-crossed me and took it. A little shit named Edgar Wakefield.
It's a situation I'm familiar with. Can you walk?
Get me out of this damn thing and I'll fly. I can pay you to get rid of Wakefield.
It'll be my pleasure. Come on.
I'll just get my tiara. Yeah. I think
I'll have to carry her out.
Section B are under quarantine until further notice. Prisoners who have been transferred from Section B will be observed for signs of infection.
When I find you, it's going to be bad. I know you're here somewhere, scum. When I find you, it's going to be bad. I know you're here somewhere, scum.
No, that won't work too well.
Oh, I'll find you.
I know you're here.
See that her wounds get attention.
It will be done. All quiet, sir. Ready to go.
Let's go.
Ooh, missed 500 gold somehow. Dang. Oh well. With Lizzie Stride free, you have a captain to take you upriver. Unfortunately, Lizzie's second-in-command, Edgar Wakefield, is running the old gang and won't hand over the ship without a fight. Deal with the traitor Wakefield and help Lizzie get her ship in working order.
Dunwall is changing fast. 6 months ago, Draper's Ward was where Dunwall, rich and well-born, strolled and shopped and tried to be seen. The plague burned through it in days. Today it's a battleground where two street gangs fight over the spoils. The Hatters and Lizzie's gang, the Dead Eels. Lizzie Stride was the boss until Edgar Wakefield betrayed her and took her place. And her riverboat. It's the kind of thing that happens every day in Dunwall. I don't judge him. I've done worse myself. But I need that boat. Edgar Wakefield and I have business.
Sure. Okay, that's good for now.
The textile mill used to run off a water wheel before the canal went dry. It started up again recently, and whatever the Hatters did to get it working has enraged the Dead Eels. They're fighting in the streets.
And I briefly misread that as Diaper's word. my mind free. Okay, good. So that splat of blood there, and it was like, did I somehow just kill him?
Dice.
Is that someone? Go.
Dice.
For a moment, I thought I'd managed to just, like, toss her right in his lap, but, a little less clean than that. A little less, Oh, hi, rats. You have fun with those corpses there. I'm gonna go this way. Hmm.
Quiet in the city. Almost like it used to be.
Hello, friend. As instructed by your whalers, I have dredged this horrid thing up from the depths of the storm drains and placed it in the agreed-upon location in hopes that you, and only you, recover it. But be warned, poor fortune has followed me every step of the way since laying hands on this thing, and I am overjoyed at the prospect of leaving it here and being done with it. May it treat you better than it has me. And if some unlucky local has stumbled upon this wicked bone, heed these 2 warnings. As I have said above, poor fortune will find you. But more importantly, this is intended for delivery to the most dangerous man in the Empire. If you are in possession of something he wants, you may count your remaining hours on one hand.
pass me by. The others down with the sickness. Welcome to the Draper's Ward Salvage and Resale, or the black market if you'd prefer. It's Dowd, right? Recognized your face from the posters. Not that I'd ever say anything to anyone, believe me. I'd be happy to have you for a customer.
What are you selling?
The best of Draper's Ward, all for sale.
Ooh. Yes, please. Carrion killer. Hello, Griff. I hope your business is going well. If you're interested, I have a little business proposal for you. The canal here in Draper's Ward has been dry for some time now, enough time for the prized ox rush to take bloom in the mud. None of the ruffians patrolling this area know how special the flower can be, so I have no competition in harvesting them. But none of the alchemists or natural philosophers that can use them frequent this district anymore. Perhaps I can send you some bunches of ox rush to peddle, for a commission, of course, and I can help you tap into an ammunition market here in Draper's Ward. The gangs have gone into full-scale war, so demand is high. Let me know your thoughts. Jerome.
Half the city's dead. We won't make it 3 more months. All these rats crawling all over everything. Half the city's dead. We won't make it 3 more months. All these rats crawling all over everything. Run and hide, you coward. Where are you?
I'm in this apartment that you can't reach.
It's just a matter of time, buddy. Half the city's dead. We won't make it 3 more months.
Pardon me.
Someone's about to get shanked.
Is
How
it
did
you?
it pass me by? All
Bet
the
it's
others
you.
down with the sickness. I know you're here.
Do you now?
Anything to smoke or eat?
We're losing business. I understand doing what's got to be done. But at Wakefield... Yeah,
Lizzie kept to a deal when she made it. She weren't no cheat.
it's sad. After last night, I don't know who's going to buy from us.
Half the city's dead. We won't make it 3 more months.
Whatever.
Picked up anything good?
Shut up.
How did it pass me by? All the others down with the sickness.
Good job, dude. This post is awful. I almost broke my neck getting up here, and all day the Hatters kept taking shots at me like I'm some kind of carnival game. This morning I saw some lady up on the glass roof across the canal, and it kind of has me worried. I think she looked right at me. How'd she get up there? Are the Hatters recruiting ladies now? Anyway, since she's been up there, I can barely make out this thing she left behind. Can't tell what it is from here, but come nightfall I might just climb up there and have a look. Gotta be wary of that arc pylon they set up down there. If they have that kind of gear, we're just outmatched. Wish Lizzie was back. She'd get us out of this. This chapter will focus on the once lavish Draper's Ward. Before the reign of the Kaldwin dynasty, the locale held none of the prestige that it has so recently enjoyed. Draper's Ward was once a simple manufacturing hub for fabrics and textiles, exporting raw weaves to all corners of the empire. Water-driven mills turned day and night to meet the needs of the rapidly expanding cloth industries. For decades, Draper's Ward supported a modest trade until key manufacturers began relocating factories to Sarkonos and Morley. The price of labor in these places was much lower, and the limited availability of Dunwall riverfront property, which was required to turn the mills, made expansion of operations impossible. At the end of this period, declining production and abandoned factories created an opportunity for a new generation of skilled and ambitious industrialists. A loose confederation of clothing merchants, including such luminaries as Percy Oliver, Agatha Chesney, and Mortimer Hatt, established a new model of business, high-end clothing that was designed to appeal to Dunwall's elite, sold at a substantial markup. The best sartorial designers from across the empire were lured to the boutiques of Draper's Ward, where they found themselves freed from the need to solicit patrons. In fact, they were elevated to high society, courted and pampered. The powerful and influential began to frequent the new Draper's Ward, paying any cost to be seen in the latest styles. The district was wildly successful. Extravagant wealth and luxury among the proprietors and designers became the norm. But not all was glamour and fun. Reinventing Draper's Ward was an expensive project, and investigations into the sources of capital funding this revitalization often led to dead ends. It was commonly whispered that Mortimer Hatt had been a ruthless gang leader in his early years, and it was a very poor secret among the City Watch that he still commanded a private army of hardened men that would protect his interests. A terrible truth emerged over time. While the designers and merchants held court in exclusive boutiques, the mills and factories that produced the clothing were houses of suffering and abuse. Despite the coin generated by their business, the workers who stitched the garments never took part in the flow of wealth. Instead, Hatt's men enforced brutal working conditions on them. As this corruption intensified, with violence occasionally spilling out into the open streets, the well-to-do declined further invitations to shop at the boutiques. Business fell precipitously, and now, with rumors of a plague looming on the horizon, the golden age of Draper's Ward may soon be at an end. You turned the lights off. Nope, that was not accomplishing much. Uh-oh. Did you get me anything? Yeah. No, but I mean, you know, a drink every now and again is a nice thing. Yeah. You should go back. Okay. To both places? Yeah. Oh. Well, I wasn't joking when I asked, did you get me anything? Well, I mean, I was half joking when I asked, did you get me anything from the liquor store? What? Nah. This guy. Hi.
Who are you? Are you with her?
With her?
Delilah. Are you with her? No, but you don't have any roses.
What can you tell me about Delilah?
I used to make clothing for the Caldwins, you see. I adored them, especially young, precocious Emily. She was such a delight. Did you ever meet the Empress? She was so special. And I was able to count her among my friends. I had a lock of hair from young Emily, a keepsake given to me by the family when my hands grew too stiff and clumsy to work the needle. I have treasured it so.
And Delilah?
She visited me here. Such a surprise to see her. All grown up. So serious. Did you know she was once a playmate of Jessamine's? Before she was Empress, when they were both little. I thought it was a cordial visit at first, but it turned frightening.
What happened?
She made things come out of the shadows, long and grasping. I can still feel the cold on my neck. I sound mad, don't I? Perhaps I am. She questioned me and left me propped in the corner like a bolt of cloth. I couldn't move for 3 nights. She made the horrid markings you see now. Then she stole my only keepsake, my lock of hair from dear, sweet Emily. Ah, Emily, where are you? Damn that Corvo, and damn Delilah.
My dearest friend, my costume ball will require 3 tailored outfits that are perfectly matching, except for color. We are going to play a game with our guests, you see. I am saddened to hear of your deteriorating hands and the hard times on which you have fallen, as you were my first choice to craft these costumes. I will mention your physical difficulties to my doctor at the party. Perhaps he can be of some service to you. Farewell, Waverly Boy.
How did it pass me by? All the others down with the sickness.
You can keep your side. Out of range.
We won't make it 3 more months.
Keep an eye out. We got company.
Half the city's dead. We won't make it 3 more months.
Someone's still sneaking around. We're losing business. I understand doing what's got to be done. Wakefield.
Lizzie kept to a deal once she made it. She went on cheat.
Exactly. After last night, I don't know who's gonna buy from us.
How did it pass me by? All the others down with the sickness.
Keep an eye out. We got company. The Reapers are still themselves. Do they even know what's happening?
Half the city's dead. We won't make it 3 more months.
Time to get sloshed. Someone's sneaking around. Oh, just let him show his face. See what I do then. Keep an eye out. We got company. No time to get sloshed. Someone's sneaking around. We ain't the only ones prowling around this place.
Oops. Ow, my foot.
pass me by. All the others down.
That could have gone better.
Draper's Ward is the sweetest salvage since the blade. You ask me, we should stick to the task. Shrouds are bringing in plenty of loot like this just sitting here. It's not how the Hatters play.
The range on those things is always longer than I expect it to be.
Draper's Ward is the sweetest salvage since the blade came. You ask me, we should stick to the factory. Shrouds are bringing in plenty of loot like this just sitting here. It's not how the Hatters play. Got anything to smoke or eat? Blow off, chopper.
Somebody get over here!
You know what, I'm just...
matters are getting organized.
Well, there's plenty of food about. Evans, be cautious with this equipment. It is very delicate and requires a skilled touch to operate. It is also quite lethal, so if you do not follow the proper procedures, you will cease to exist in the wink of an eye. Acquiring this technology took a great deal of politicking and expense. So, I repeat, do not be reckless with it. Once the system is set up and operational, we will never see a dead eel darkening our doorway. The mill will become an impregnable fortress. Report any technical issues to me, Nurse Trimble. Yeah. Very good. Okay. Would have been, well, being able to stop time would have been quite useful in that encounter just now. Things in there. How do I get in? Bring a man to represent my black-eyed groom. Fetch a woman to represent me in my youth. Lay them together in the eternal circle, a wedding band to bind them placed on the silver tray. Do this for me, dearie, and I'll give you a wedding gift. Okay. I've come across some old writings that hint at a bizarre ritual, and I'm going to use it to prove to you, for once and for all, that all of this mystical stuff is just superstition. When I get back from my mission in the sewers, we'll do this. But there's a trick. You'll need a bride. Ha! Near as I can tell, she doesn't need to be willing. She doesn't need to even be awake. By the outsider's eyes, I don't even think she needs to be alive. So you go secure a bride if you can, and I'll officiate this mock wedding. Cider. Mechanic apartment key. There's gonna be a key around somewhere. To my loyal customers, I've done my best to provide a provisioning service to you even after all the decent citizens have abandoned Draper's Ward. But now it is clear that there is no livelihood for me here now, and that association with you all will eventually cost me my life. To those who have never wronged me, I suggest you take your business to Jerome. He can be found in a second-floor apartment just a stone's throw away from here, next to Millinery Canal. His prices will climb now that I'm gone, but he seems like a fair enough man. For those who have harassed me, stolen from me, and driven me from my home, I hope you suck on the barrel of a City Watch pistol someday. I'm sure you will all meet violent and unhappy endings. Goodbye, Mr. Mitchell, Mitchell's Marketplace. You didn't need those ankles, right? Those particular ankles?
Nice try, River Rat. Get lost.
Well, if I weren't playing stealth, that might be a good way to go about things, but Hey Jasper, one of the dead eels apparently trained some white rats to come to this side of the canal and fetch shiny objects back to him. So far they've taken a few coins and a couple of bullets back over into eel territory. Pike saw one carrying a coin and tried to shoot it, but his marksmanship is lacking. Ha! Be wary of them, and crush the little things if you get the chance. If one swipes one of our tools or keys or something like that, you'll be a laughingstock. Hello. Where might I find a password? If I were a password, where would I be? there's a password to be found. It's probably on this side of the canal. And I would expect, given that the other side is Eel's territory.
She was such a sweet girl.
Missed those before somehow. Documents, anything? Over there. Nothing terribly interesting. Well, maybe it's something I'll find in the next area, the next section, because I really don't know.
Wakefield's a hard man, but he's not as fun as Lizzie. Lizzie enjoyed it more.
Yeah, even Lizzie never drowned victims in a sack. Still see him squirming for air.
Yeah, how's he gonna top that?
Oh. Ow. No. That's not what I was trying to do. Pardon me, sir.
Wakefield's a hard man, but he's not as fun as Lizzie. Lizzie enjoyed it more.
Even Lizzie never drowned victims in a sack. Still see him squirming for air.
Yeah. How's he gonna top that?
Not that I noticed.
Edgar Wakefield is on board the Undine. He's put all of the eels on alert since Lizzie's rumored to have escaped from Coldridge. He's expecting her. You will undoubtedly be a surprise to him.
The halls of the Academy of Natural Philosophy are thought to be spaces where thoughtful discourse and enlightened tolerance set the tone for debate and learning. It is believed that reason applies above all, and the passions of the greatest minds of the Empire are tempered by wisdom and custom. This is the commonly accepted vision of the place, and it is almost always accurate. Almost. Sometimes a protracted debate or disagreement can explode into conflict, and very rarely, violence. Such was the case years ago in the month of Winds. A young apprentice named Piero Joplin ventured into strange new directions of research in the preservation of mortifying tissue, a field that brought him into frequent conflict with a student called Trimble. Joplin and Trimble often debated loudly long into the night, and the content of these arguments was well beyond the understanding of most people of the Empire, the author included. The rivalry between the two natural philosophers raged for months, but it is the climax of those events that prompts this writing. The two had argued deep into the night, the debate sliding into bitter personal attacks. At last they reached a terrible accord. Their mutual hatred culminated in a duel to the death, with pistols. Under the gray sky of dawn, the greatest minds of the Empire of the Isles gathered in the courtyard, in a fashion resembling schoolboys gathering to watch bullies fight. A quiet fell as Joplin and Trimble accepted the ceremonial pistols, marked off the paces, turned, and fired. Each combatant fired round after round, shattering windows, chipping masonry, and splitting plaster. The closest shot to the mark was Joplin's, whose bullet ripped through the hem of Trimble's overcoat. It was clear that the dedicated study of the learned men had made for poor marksmanship. When all their ammunition was expended, both parties stood quivering with fear and rage, but unharmed. It was then agreed that the duel would be settled with a coin flip. A newly minted coin of the Empire was produced, bearing the face of Empress Jessamine Caldwin. It was sent spinning into the air. Trimble called heads. The coin landed tails. Joplin was declared winner, and the feuding between the men ceased. By the terms of the dispute, Trimble was forced to leave the Academy, his studies left incomplete, whereupon a dignified silence returned to the halls of the Academy of Natural Philosophy. Mr. Hat, there has been some interesting activity since our raid on... I can't do the voice. Since our raid on the Dead Eels a few days ago. It looks like Wakefield has been rooting out Lizzie loyalists and chasing them off or making an example out of them with some gruesome killing. I don't think he's got much of a hold on this gang, and things are likely to fly apart before long. Also, I swear I saw a woman lurking on some nearby rooftops last night, spying on the eels. She saw me looking at her and just disappeared. Perhaps you'll know what to make of that. Oscar, I need another drink.
There's the boat. Wakefield's probably keeping himself below decks. Whatever I do to him, it will be a mercy compared to what Lizzie has in mind.
I'm going to quick save, and then I'm going to make a proper save. Because I want to be able to go back and do that password thing. I just hope I can actually find the password.
Sitting next to the river. Or canal, at least. Just waiting to stick it.
All those prancing nobles in fancy masks. Strip them of their jewels and set them on fire. Finest time.
Drown them. Drown it yours.
Set on fires first.
Drown it yours.
You ever see a man set on fire? What does he do? He jumps in the water. I hear Lord Shaw is making his way to the party by boat. 2 bodyguards.
What? How do you do things like that?
I have some connections.
other one go? Weird. Right there. I could have just disarmed it from the outside. Whoa. Oops.
see something, or someone, out of the corner of my eye. But when I turn, they're gone. Someone is watching us.
Not long ago, I watched you kill an empress and steal her child for coin. For a man like that, you went through Coldridge Prison with an awfully soft touch. I wonder, are you hoping it will change the way things work out? Maybe. Maybe not. The song's almost over, and when the music stops, we all fall down.
concealed himself in the cargo hold of the Undine. Smuggling ships like this one often have a hatch underneath for dumping contraband if they get caught. Perhaps the Undine is no different.
Yeah, I remember that one. The main story.
Locked up. How did it come to this? Lizzie's on her way. I just know it. Might as well slit my own throat.
Time to signal Lizzie.
Wait, that was Wakefield? Going to pieces. I was just getting things under control, but now I hear Lizzie busted out of Coldridge. How? The dead eels are all starting to swing my way, and I even think we'll wipe out those accursed hatters soon. Mr. Het humiliated me something awful with that raid to steal our engine coil, and payback was going to be me taking a piss on his stovepipe. But now that Lizzie is free again, I've got the crew on high alert. Orders to kill anyone that ain't one of us. I'm starting to think I bit off more than I can chew. Must be something I've overlooked. I don't know what. You know what? Time to cheat. Let's find out. Brigmore, witches, hatter code. Oh, that's all it is. See, I thought this stage was about to end. Yeah, okay, that coin, sure.
Lizzie Stride is assuming control of the dead eels now. She's ordered them to give you safe passage.
friend Edgar Wakefield sent me up to be taken by the City Watch, and you followed him. Took his orders. But you know what? I forgive you. All of you. I'm filled with love. But the following people each owe me a finger. Logan, Douglas, Bang Bang, Ferris, Pigface, the Bakers, and Annabelle.
Shit.
2 from you, Annabelle. Have a good night.
What are you looking at?
That piece of garbage, Edgar. I'm still living with his incompetence. He let the Hatters cripple the Undine.
The ship seems fine to me.
They took the engine coil. We're dead in the water.
What is it? Can we make a new one?
They don't make them anymore, not for an engine like the Undine's. We'll have to get it back.
The geezer still leads the Hatter gang, right? I'll pay him a visit.
It won't be that easy. There's a snag.
Always is. What's this one?
The geezer's about 100 years old by now. He's got it rigged so that if he dies, the whole place gets gassed. So they're real careful around him. Got him a nurse and everything. Maybe you can cut a deal for that engine coil. Turn on the charm. One of the Hatters gave me their door password in exchange for keeping the rest of his fingers. It's whalebone. I never got to use it on account of the gas. And being in jail.
Just be ready to move when I get back.
Just because he can do strange things doesn't mean there's an invisible man watching us. I'll ask him how he does it.
Are you crazy? Don't you dare.
You should get where you're going, little man.
Little man. That is a well-hidden coin.
What's the password?
Whalebone.
Come in, Hatter.
Sir, the Hatters are using the textile machines to make shrouds for the plague dead.
Now we know why they took the engine coil.
The man who runs the Hatters is more cunning than he looks. He can flood this place with a toxic gas. In time, it'll eat through our air filters. You may have to make a deal.
She had Corvo Otana with her. They weren't wearing no
Someone wants to get hurt.
Is it you? I think it's you. Okay, well, I seem to have lost track of time a bit. I should probably be getting off before the Radio PSI Friday night folks get their start. So, thanks for watching. I'll be back on tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern for Throne of Games, where I'll be playing Valkyria Chronicles. I'll be back with more of this on Monday at 2 Eastern. And next Thursday, also at 9, I will be completing Tales of Monkey Island. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you then.